All righty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody had a lovely day. And with that being said, let's dive into the TA. All right, guys. So we got quite a bit off the low today. I'm just gonna say, when we do something like this, all right, we almost came back down to Friday's low over there, bounce right back. We're sitting right underneath all these moving averages stacked right above us. Okay, makes it pretty clear what's going on here. You either break above this area and you start pushing back to highs, or you're gonna break down from here. You're gonna fail at the stacked moving averages right here, come back down to Friday's low, take it out. All right, and you get that next little leg lower. It's one or the other. All right, it's still, I think it's best to take the wait and see approach. Okay, we're gonna go over the indices, go over the Mag 7 stocks, and I have some things that are gonna be moving very well for you guys in the second half of the video. Okay, we're gonna try and run through things as quick as possible. Keep the video 10 to 20 minutes here. Okay, let's get into it. On the upside, QQQ, we have 599.90 and 602.87. 602.87 is the big level to get back above. Get back above there, you're back above all the short-term moving averages. We're probably heading back up the highs. Okay, above there we have 607.16, 613.18, and 615. On the downside, you have 597.23, and we're just going to do a watch down here, 588.50. Okay, if we come back down here, we're probably going to break it. Then we have 583.32. 580.06. You can see in the after hour session over here on Friday, we did actually get almost down to that golden pocket action there. Okay, 580. All right, that is QQ. Coming over here to SPY. Same exact look. On the upside, we're watching today's high. If you get over there, you're over all of your moving averages. Okay, you're getting ready for a big move. You have these all compressed over here. Either this is the end of your correction, you head up to new highs, or you are going to fail here and you're coming down, breaking this low, and then you have the next leg low. We're probably going to take out this level right here, 646.20, which was Friday's low in the after hour session right after market close there. Okay, on the upside, 665.83. Okay, above the 665.83, we're talking 673.95. On the downside, 659.77, 652.84. Friday's low. Underneath there, 649.48, 646.20, 639.85, 634.92. All right, I personally think we probably do have a bottom in. That's where I think odds are leaning here. I'm going to go over some charts here, guys. We have some hot things going on in this market. And yeah, I shared yesterday in yesterday's video /live, whatever you want to call it. We did a live stream instead of video yesterday here on YouTube. Hey, all right, chips are set up to push back up the highs, and although today they're still not pushing, okay, they're lower than where they were yesterday, where they closed out. All right, TSM, MU, things make me think yeah, we're probably going to be heading back up to the highs. They really don't look all too bad. And you got things like Google over here. We're going to take a look at the Mag 7 stocks after we go over the indices, but a little sneak peek there. Okay, sneak peek action. All right, so those are the levels on SPY and QQ, guys. Coming over to DIA. All right, you're also starting to, find buyers here right off the weekly 9 EMA. Probably going to be pushing back the highs. IWM, we pushed back up the highs off of the weekly 9 EMA. And now that we got back up here, it tells us, yeah, we're probably going to continue a bit further. Okay, probably not just going to sweep the high there and really pull back all that much. We're probably going to go a bit higher. If you pull back, expect it to go like that and we go higher. There you go, into end of week. Now, VIX, guys, we did say after we got this on Friday, okay, it doesn't tell us when it's going to be revisited, but typically when we get those equal highs there, okay, you got the change of character, all right, it tells you that, yeah, all right, something is different over here. There's a larger move, it's a brewing, okay, and I don't ever know when, we're going to return back to these levels, but, I mean, you could use context clues, all right, things shape up in a certain manner most of the time. All right, vast majority of the time, yeah, we have a pretty nice outlook here on the market. Right now, guys, I'm still saying wait and see, but yeah, I'm leaning, we're probably just going to push back to all-time highs over the coming sessions. But yeah, VIX did end up popping over here. If you do break down underneath, we're going to call it 17 bucks, okay? Set your alert for 17 over here. If you break 17 on the VIX, not dollars, okay, but 17, you break 17, and yeah, we might have a full-on VIX crush on our hands. We'll see about it. I'm overall thinking, it's a bit mixed over here than the signal we're seeing. It's saying exercise caution over here. We also know by the time the government shutdown ends that, we probably aren't going to be, we're probably going to be at all-time highs. All right, we're looking for a higher price than this high at 669.37. Okay, current price is 662.23. All right, so those are the indices, guys, coming over the Mag 7 stocks. Okay, we'll kick it off with Google here. Okay, GOOG, G-O-O-G. On the upside, 244.84. Okay, we broke above that today, and now we're watching this upper trend line, and we have 251.65, 256.70, and I think you go 260 plus. Probably 270 plus once you break up from the structure. But yeah, consolidating in a bullish manner. Will not be surprised if you push back up off of here. Apple starting to catch a bid. Okay. You really do have to just get through this whole area. First stop, 250. Get above 250. We're talking 253.01. Get above 253.01. You're probably just shooting straight back up to all-time highs, 260.10. We're talking 270 plus. Amazon, okay, continues catching a bid today from lower prices. I'm not going to say it's worth trading the stock over here. I'm going to say what I, thought, yesterday. How you might as well just wait for the break above 228.25. There you go. You're in consolidation, but big move incoming. Up or down, not sure, but you're definitely getting real tight over here. You got, 3 weeks here where we haven't really gone anywhere. It's 2.5 weeks where we haven't gone anywhere. Tesla, okay. You're holding the 21 EMA here. You only lost over one session, but we do know the fact that you got under here. It tells you it's probably the beginning of the end over here for this rally, even if you push, okay? Still, chance that there's a chance it just does what, just moves up, boom, okay? Maybe takes out this high, maybe lower high, and then cools off for quite some time. I'm really not sure, okay? I still think it would make sense for this thing to go in the month of October here. But yeah, I don't know. I just know how the thing's moved in the past over here when you break the 21 EMA, and I'm thinking it's likely going to do the same. So I don't think there's really a reason to be trading that over other names. I got plenty of ideas for you guys that you got a lot of money moving on these names over here. Some of these guys pull out 20 to 30% daily moves. Okay, just pay attention. Every single video, second half of the video, that's what it is. Okay, discussing what's moving the market. Meta still got to get above 740.91. That's that. Nothing has changed. You're right around the weekly 21. Microsoft starting to catch a bid. You want to get over 520. Above there, 530. NVIDIA, guys, I think you're going to be coming down lower. I think we're probably coming down here to 176.14. That's where you want to be buying it. Okay, I don't think it's worth buying it right now. There's really no reason to. You had a false breakout so far, and you might as well wait for some lower prices, okay? But yeah, 176 is that next stop, okay? All right, those were the indices. Now I got some trade ideas for you guys. Let's go over the charts that are looking like they're going to be doing some cool things here in the short term, okay? I hope you guys are having a great time in the market. Joby, okay, J-O-B-Y on the upside. We're talking 1855 above there. I think you head straight back up to 2095. All right, that is your current all-time high. You get above there, the thing's going to be making some nice ass moves. This looks explosive. This has the heaviest volume, ever traded over here, coming in the last few sessions. Okay, 3 days of the heaviest volume ever traded, right here. 3 out of the last 5 sessions were the heaviest volume the sticker's ever traded. Okay, so what does that tell us, guys? 110%. They're accumulating the shit out of the stock right here. That's the only thing that can tell you. Small candle right here, massive volume. What does that tell you? One of them is lying. It's the candlestick. Someone took a position. All right, what happens over here? Very tiny candlestick, massive volume again. Someone is lying. It is the candlestick. Big candlestick, heavy volume, increasing volume. It's likely going to continue pushing in the short term. I think we get this action going. But I'm watching for a big move start up over here. J-O-B-Y. Sound. Oh, bada bing, bada boom. All right. Bang. Bang, bang, bang. Real talk, Sound. We've been waiting for this move for quite some time. I hope you guys are having a good time. All right, Sound may have faked you out over here, consolidating for quite some time. All right, a bunch of, false moves up into this area, 1933. Well, we got above there today, and you started exploding. On the upside, we have today's high at 2153, above there, 2285. That's your first target there. You just need a 10% move from current price, and you're right at 2285, that first target. Above there, 2498. 2498, I do think is incoming in the short term. Next 1 to 2 weeks, I think it's probable. That's sound. All right, Poet over here, guys. All right, I pointed out when it started breaking out over here, and now I'm pointing out the break and retest over here. I actually pointed out the other day, yesterday, but now it looks like you want to break above 941 in the short term. Above 941, we're talking $11, then 1280. I do think this thing is going to get back up here to 1280, and I think you're going to break it. I don't know how high this thing is going to go. I really don't, but I can tell you over here, you had a lot of consolidation that you just broke up from. You have a break and retest there on the daily time frame. That's 2/3 of a year right over here. A little bit more, maybe 3/4 of a year, a little bit more, maybe even 4/5 of consolidation here. Okay, 280 days out of 360 something. Okay, that's pretty crazy. Okay, the thing is very likely about to start a larger push. You've had a lot of consolidation here, and the range itself consisted of $4.50. You've now broken out of that. What's $4.50 above there? We've only went 160. 4.5 brings you all the way up here to $12, just about 1280. Yes, I do think large move incoming over here on Poet. Heaviest volume ever traded last week. Bada bing, bada boom. RCAT. All right, this thing looks explosive. All right, you're consolidating right here. You rejected last week. What happens if you fade last week's topping tail here? All right, 1670. That's the level you got to get above. Above there, I think 20 plus is incoming. This looks very similar to our boy QS right here. Okay, so RCAT, QS, they look identical. They look very similar here. And I will not be surprised to see both of these things start popping off. QS, I would say, has much more of a base going on here than RCAT. But in terms of strength, they're in two different stages of this. Okay, RCAT did what I just showed you on QS. You're kind of sitting down here. I think a massive move is loading here on QS. Okay, big base breakout, and now you're kind of basing above that base. So yeah, I think this is probably going to be treated like over here. You're consolidating around the 9. I think you're probably going to start pushing up to new highs. That's QS. LAC, new highs today above at 948. Above 948, we're talking 1178. I think it is incoming here in the short term. This looks explosive. It's LAC. RR, starting to push back up, guys. We're consolidating, but look at the volume pouring back into this thing. This heavier volume than we got over here on a big day. And I'd say it's safe to say we probably do have a 10 to 20% move coming right around the corner here, probably 10-20% day. We're looking for 8 to 850 here in the short term. Current price 673. Okay. Speaking of robotics, we got SCRV also coiled up, ready for a move over here, guys. I personally got shares on both of them. Added SCRV today. I think this thing is about to rip. I do. I think we could see 19 to 20 bucks here in the short term. But yeah, heavy volume last week. And yeah, it's really, just coiled up here against the 90 EMA. It looks like it wants to snap up above 1790. Above 1790, we're talking 1942, 2123, and 2409. Okay, larger move is probably coming on this name. And if you could scoop it up down here, maybe we could ride it out. Okay, that's SCRV. Cost, falling wedge. Don't know if it's going to break out here. Really not sure. You get decreasing volume as you come into it. Not the best look, but at the same time, the chart kind of speaks for itself. Okay. So yeah, I'm watching over here. I'm not going to be trading it. I'm not. Okay. I think once we get above this area, 981, I think then it's worth trading up to, 1,000 plus and then all-time highs. But yeah, I'm not really too interested in this name over here. I'm really not. It hasn't been moving the best, and it's clearly, it has a big old base going on here. It's got a reversal pattern. Yeah, let's see how this bad boy plays out. ACHR. I think this thing is going to be moving up in the short term and breaking 1392. It's looking very probable. Okay, very probable. But yeah, that's ACHR. Rocket Lab gave us the entry today. We've been talking about off of the 90 in May. You took your profits on the first move. We got our first breakout move after, you know, 2 failed attempts over here. Well, you took your profits and you were waiting to add some back, you know, with a later expiration. Okay. More time. All right. Further out the money, whatever you want to do. Okay. You were waiting. You got another entry point. We knew along this run, we get 3 to 4 entry points. Well, this was one. Okay. You had one move to play. Well, I guess we're going to call it 2. You could take the entry point in the breakout, and then you have, you know, a few mean reversions. You said 1, 2, 3. Okay. Which honestly, these kind of came with the same, you know, 3 sessions. So we'll just say you had 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, I guess that's 4. Okay. 3 to 4. Either way, we're looking for 3 to 4. We're looking for this thing to be pushing up to new highs in the short term. Probably going to be happening this week. Above today's high, 69.67. We're talking 73.50 and then $80. That's Rocket Lab. ASTS, guys, on its way to $100. Big psych level there. We got 99.13 today. Started pushing out of this range. We identified the last few sessions here. Okay, last 2 sessions, weekly update, and then yesterday. Yeah, you started popping. You had quite a big day, quite a big range of the day, 13, 14 points. This is quite a bit. But yeah, ASTS is moving, guys. Rocket Lab is very likely to follow suit with what it did today. CELH consolidating around the daily moving average over here. All right, get about 64.81. I think you push straight up to $69. I really like the look over here on CELH. Palantir, PLTR. Coiled up. All right. Quadruple inside week so far. I don't think they're going to have a quadruple one. I think we're going to just have the triple inside week. And this week, now that we test the weekly 9 EMA here, mean reversion, we're probably going to be pushing up to new all-time highs. Either way, this breakout is imminent. I don't know when this thing's going to squeeze upwards, but it is likely going to be right around the corner. Keep it on your radar. One of the top watches, okay? UNH over here, I doubt that was all she wrote for this move after, you know, all the consolidation there. Pull back to the 21 EMA, the past 3 sessions, that's where you're holding. Okay, right off of 354.50. That was one of your breakout levels right here. Above 362.31. All right, that's when we're looking for this thing to start pushing back up to highs. Above 362.31, we have 368, 376.22, and then 393.11. Above there, $400. Hive, HIVE. Okay, this thing looks gnarly. It looks like it wants to have a big ass base breakout right here. 753. Give me a daily close above it. I think 10 plus is incoming. That's the 9 EMA today, just like a lot of other names, guys. And yeah, just a reminder, pullbacks will happen along your broader uptrend. Whatever the name is, it's just how things work. Does not matter. Okay, they always will pull back. This is your mean reversion. Now, if you can get a daily close above, you know, top of your base here, 753. Next level is the psychological area, which happens to have a lot of reactions here. Right over here, right over here. Okay, so yeah, $10. That's going to be the target right here. $10. Bada bing, bada boom. NNE. I personally took this one off today for around break even. You know, it was like a $10 per contract loss. But yeah, you know, I think we might be dancing around here in the short term. Maybe it does push straight back up. I'm really not sure. It looks kind of juicy over here on the smaller time frames. I just didn't like how it was moving today. But I do think at the end of the day, this is likely going to break above 60.51 this week. Oklo today alone moved the size and market cap of all of NNE's market cap. Okay. I think this thing it's right around the corner. We're probably going to have a big ass move on this name. Okay. So it's something to keep on your radar. I'm talking 20-30% move above 60.51. I'm talking like 80 plus. Okay. That's NNE. MP. Big old dip today. Well, it all got bought. You were down over 10% and it got bought. If you take out 104.94, push it straight up to 110. That's what I'm seeing. TMC. Pulling back over here. Okay, you can see that today, but you did find buyers just like MP there, and we are likely going to be continuing. Okay, it's the same thing as this guy over here. Had a big pullback. You found buyers, not as much over here as TMC and MP, but yeah, not looking bad, guys. Above 1087 today's high. We have 1135, and then we are talking right over here. I think it's 1220. Yeah, 1220, and then $13. I think 12 to 13 isn't coming in the short term. Watch it. Okay. Mara, Mara, big breakout today, guys. Big breakout. Got the break above 21.18. This is your base, neckline right there. Okay, we started pushing up off of that today. I think this is going to go much higher over the coming weeks. I think we can start a larger push here. Watch for it. Okay, that's Mara. XYZ. I still like the weekly time frame over here. Congrats if you're scooping up around the weekly 21. I think it's probably going to hold. All you got to do is push past 82.5, and we know this thing it's having another leg up. So a lot of consolidation taking place here. I have no doubts that this thing is going to be breaking up, but you really just got to wait to see it. 82.5, and then yeah, I think we're going to be on our way back up here at 90, then $100. TSM. I already talked about TSM and MU earlier in the video. I'm going to mention it again right here. Okay. TSM, MU, they're both setting up for new highs. That is that. ONS, ONDS, also setting up for a push through highs. There you go. All right. And other than that, guys, we called out QUBT, right? This is the only quantum stock here that hasn't really, left where it's been consolidating here. We have this base. Okay. All of the other ones, they have moved quite a bit. Okay. I and Q, they're moving quite a bit. Okay. QBTS, quite a bit. Like QBT is like over here. So I am just saying, I think this is probably going to be breaking out of, this consolidation going on over here. This is 3 weeks of consolidation, almost 4. It's probably going to be breaking out to the upside. Just today alone, the range on the day was 16%. We started pointing out the past 2 sessions, okay, especially yesterday. I think this thing is going to begin to move. So I'm going to be watching it. Set your alert for $24. If it gets taken out, I think you're going 27 plus. Above 27.15, we're talking $30. Okay. And yeah, that's what I got for you guys today. SOFI guys did start catching a bid. I would expect this thing to continue back up to all-time highs. Above 28.26, we're talking 30.30. And then I don't know. I'm talking 35 plus, guys. I'm thinking this is going to make a nice move in the short term. All right, last one I got for you is Netflix. I'm thinking this is going to turn into a green weekly candlestick, and if you take out 1267, all-time highs incoming probably the next week. Okay. With that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. It's slightly over 20 minutes, but only by 2 minutes. We'll take that. That's not too shabby. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you guys are crushing this market. Okay. Please just remember to leave a like. And if you want to come crush this market with us, I am live every day. You can come trade with me. I got you with my trades. I got you with just everything you really need to be successful in these markets. Okay. I got you every day and every week. All right. That link is down below. All right. Other than that, guys, I hope everybody has a lovely rest of their night, and I will catch you all tomorrow. Peace, guys.